what I'm hoping to do this morning before I go to the airport is visit, just on the outside, each of the 41 official Broadway theaters. First on my list is the Kennedy. First on my list is the Lincoln Center. Sorry, the Kennedy Center's been in the news, so I guess that's what was on my brain. The Lincoln Center, up on the lower Upper West Side. So that's gonna take a train ride from 50th up there. But then I'll be walking most of the rest of it. Once I get back down to 54th at Studio 54, I'll be walking most of the rest of it. Probably all the rest of it. So, hoping to get this done in the just next couple of hours. Let's do it. And here we are at Lincoln Center. This is your classic front view with the fountain. I want everything I've ever seen in the movies.
I want everything I've ever seen in the movies.
It is Thursday, April 17th, 2025. So the shows at these individual theaters are going to be represented based on that date. Okay, now here is the specific building where Henrik Ibsen's Ghosts is finishing its run and where Floyd Collins is going to be officially opening soon. This is not the most famous view of the Lincoln Center, but this is the actual building that you would come to if you bought a ticket to a Broadway production that is showing here. It's the Vivian Beaumont Theater. Okay, here we are at 254 West 54th Street at Studio 54. From Roundabout Theater Company. Gene Smart is coming at the end of May in a show called Call Me Izzy. And here's the entrance to the space right here. They're doing some repair on some pipes, but that's okay because they are not currently in production. They're not currently having active shows. Studio 54. That's 2 down, 39 to go. Alright, we've taken a right off of West 54th and onto Broadway, passing Stephen Colbert, on our way to the Broadway Theater, which is appropriately located on Broadway. Here it is, right here on the corner of 53rd and Broadway. They're currently showing the musical version of The Great Gatsby. There it is. Just around the corner from the Broadway Theater, we find the Neil Simon Theater, which it has been for a little while showing MJ the Musical. The musical story of Michael Jackson at the Neil Simon. I'm sure it's a witty little comedy. Right here across from the Neil Simon, where Michael Jackson's musical is playing is the August Wilson, where they've got the current version of Cabaret playing. They're showing it as the Kit Kat Club, but that's the club in the show Cabaret. That's the design. The theater itself is under some renovation on the exterior, but there is a show playing currently. Let's get over and get the front of the theater proper better. There we go, where you can see the signature style print, August Wilson. All right, that was the two Broadway theaters on 52nd Street. We're heading down now to 51st Street as we head south. Here at 222 West 51st Street, it's a big show that's been playing here for a long time. It's Wicked here at the Gershwin. That's 6 down and 35 to go. Heading now to the Winter Garden, which is currently one of the big new shows because of its star power. We've got George Clooney starring in Good Night and Good Luck. It's an, as far as I know, it's an adaptation of the film, which got some Oscars attention a couple of decades ago. So let's go take a look at that one. And right next to Ellen's Stardust Diner at 51st and Broadway, right next door, is the Winter Garden. One of just two Broadway theaters that is actually on Broadway. The road. Okay, as you can see, the circle in the square is sort of adjacent to the Gershwin and kind of under its foot. And from here at Circle in the Square, we're heading now down to 49th. We still have quite a few to go, but we are definitely in the middle of the theater district. We're here on 49th, and right here at the Eugene O'Neill is the huge hit Book of Mormon, which I actually just saw for the first time the other night. It is indeed a funny show. Here on 49th Street. And right across the street, as you can see right here, at the Ambassador, is the also hugely successful Chicago. Of course, there was an adaptation of this show done that won Best Picture at the Oscars more than 20 years ago, and here it is, still running.
Stop it, kiss, slip, curses.
And that's 49th Street for you. Okay, we are on West 48th now, approaching a couple theaters, one on the right, one on the left, basically right across the street from one another. You see, over here on the left is the Walter Kerr Theater, which has been showing Hadestown for quite a while. lights over here with the red dressing on the front, appropriate to the Orpheus theme of the show. And now here right in front of us, the Longacre, which is showing a dead outlaw. Well, on the other side of Broadway, at the cross Broadway, is the James Earl Jones Theater. What's up? Here at 138 48th Street. This is where I saw Gutenberg the musical with some friends about a year and a half ago. That was Andrew Reynolds and Josh Gad, the stars of Book of Mormon that I only just saw a few nights ago. James Earl Jones is currently showing a musical version of Real Women Have Curves. Okay, we're on 47th Street now, heading west. So the Longacre Cavern is not next to the Longacre Theater. Instead, the Longacre Tavern is just a few doors down from the Palace Theater, which is currently showing a revival of David Mamet's classic drama, Glengarry Glen Ross. It's got a star-studded cast with Kieran Culkin and Bill Burr and Bob Odenkirk and Michael McKean. I don't know why his name isn't featured more prominently, but here we go. There's the Palace Theater here on 47th. Okay, we're still on 47th, but we have crossed over Times Square. We're on the west side of Times Square now. And right here across from Hotel Edison is theater with one of the shows that is demanding enormous ticket prices, again because of its star power. Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal are starring at the Barrymore in Othello. Now the Barrymore is where I saw Samuel L. Jackson in The Piano Lesson a couple years ago. So maybe a good space for dramas. Still on West 47th. Coming up here at the Lena Horne, where they've been showing Six for quite some time. It's a Tony Award-winning musical. Right across the street at the Samuel J. Friedman is where Sondheim's Old Friends is playing. I saw this back on Sunday. Bernadette Peters. Lea Salonga was not playing when I saw it, but it was a great show nonetheless. Really enjoyable. Okay, something to keep in mind sometimes is that the official address of a theater can be on one road while it can have a big presence on the opposite road. That's the case of the Imperial here, which is showing smash right now. Now we're here on 46th Street, but its official address is on 45th Street. So just keep in mind. Okay, right down from the Imperial is the smash hit Hamilton.
Don't be sad, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
At the Richard Rogers. Hamilton just recently has been celebrating its 10th anniversary. First came out in 2015 to 2025. It's been playing here at Richard Rogers for quite a while now. Still an expensive ticket. Right next to that is the marquee. Let's take a walk closer. Stranger Things is now in previews at the marquee. The marquee featured Beetlejuice for a while. It's right here in 46 next to the Richard Rogers and right across from the Lunt Fontaine, where the musical version of Death Becomes Her is currently playing. Lunt Fontaine is where I saw Sweeney Todd with some friends a couple years ago. Right here on 46th. Same road where Hamilton has been playing for so long. There it is spelled. Sometimes Lunt has a D in it. This one does not. Move on over to the Lyceum. It's 149 West 45th, where Oh Mary is currently playing. Titus Burgess did a short stint in the lead here. It's right here next to the Museum of Broadway, here on 45th. We're going to head back in the other direction to hit a long string of theaters, starting with the home of the Lion King at Menzel. They're right here on the other side of Times Square. Another long running show, great for families. Lots of people want it. Lots of people hoping that they could get discounted tickets for the Lion King here at Menzel Theater. Not to be had. Here on 45th, but it's a nice run of theaters. I'm gonna walk just a few paces along here. To the booth, which is where I saw John Proctor as the villain just last night. Really excellent show. Here on 45th at the booth. Shubert Alley. Across from the booth at the music box, we've got Sarah Snook starring in The Picture of Dorian Gray. It's an adaptation of the Oscar Wilde book. See, there's the music box right next to it. See the Imperial that we talked about before, which we can see on 46th. Here is the entrance on 45th. And back to our side of the street, the Schoenfeld, which is currently showing Buena Vista Social Club. a Broadway musical version of the documentary from back in the 90s about musicians. Here are people trying to get tickets to The Outsiders here at the Jacobs. And we're approaching our next theater, the John Golden, where I actually saw the show they're doing right now just the other night. It's Operation Mincemeat. It's a musical comedy. Actually takes about, I don't know, 10 or 12 minutes to really get going theatrically, but boy, once it does, it is a lot of fun. Wonderfully choreographed comedy bits. Excellent show. Recommended. We're still on 45th. We're going to cross over 8th Avenue here to get to another theater. Just across 8th Avenue, here at the Al Hirschfeld Theater, another long runner is the Moulin Rouge adaptation of the Baz Luhrmann film. Very popular with a lot of people. Of course, Al Hirschfeld was a famous artist who drew pictures of the stars of stage and screen. It was considered quite an honor to be a subject of one of his drawings. Lots of theaters there on 45th Street, but the hits are going to just keep on coming as we get down to 44th. We are hitting the home stretch, but there's actually a lot still to see. Let's go. Jeez, it's a windy day. You can see in front of us, we've got over on the left the Majestic, which is playing a revival of Gypsy, starring Audra McDonald. And across the street here, the St. James, another revival. This one of Sunset Boulevard. Majestic, St. James, here on 44th. We're going to keep rolling because there's a few more coming up very quickly. Pass here. The Hayes Theater is showing the drama Purpose. Over here on the right, with the orange awning, and here at the Broadhurst, we're walking under the marquee for Boop. We've got the Betty Boop musical. And just past the Broadhurst, turn around, here's the Schubert, which is currently playing the Alicia Keys musical Hell's Kitchen. The Schubert is just back to back with the Booth. See, we'll take a turn we are still on 44th, but now on the other side of Times Square. We're looking at the Hudson Theater, where the last 5 years is currently playing. This is where I was able to see Marilyn We Roll Along, which won so many Tonys last year. Both for Jonathan Groff and for Daniel Radcliffe. Lindsay Mendez really should have won for her work. She was amazingly precise while retaining her immediacy and strong character. It was fantastic work by Lindsay Mendez. Very impressive. And in the time that it's taken me to talk about that, we have approached the Belasco, where Maybe Happy Ending is playing right now. Despite its history, it might currently be a better place for musicals because there's some sound trouble. I could hear the street sound several times when I saw Appropriate here last year. But I'm guessing something with a little bit more constant sound, like a musical, might deal with that. That's here at the Belasco. Very historic theater. And that's the last one on 44th. Still have a few to go. We're heading down to 43rd now. We're on 43rd now. You'll see that the theater we're looking at now used to be called Henry Miller's Theater, but as we pan down, it's been renamed. It is the Stephen Sondheim now. They're showing Anne Juliet, and they are currently under siege by trucks. I'm not sure why. There are so many trucks. Perhaps they're loading in for a concert across the street. There's a concert venue here across the street, and that could be what all the trucks are about right now. But they have descended upon the Stephen Sondheim here on 43rd Street. Okay, again on the other side of Times Square, we are seeing the Lyric Theater, which has been playing Harry Potter and The Cursed Child for a while now. Again, a big truck in front of it. But, you know, that's just how things go. And another truck. Just 3 more to go on our trek to see all 41 of the official Broadway theaters here in Midtown Manhattan. Almost done. If you're currently looking for a family-pleasing show and you can't get into the Lion King at the Minskoff, you can always come over here to the New Amsterdam to see Aladdin. Usually there are some cheaper tickets available for Aladdin at the New Amsterdam. You're on 42nd Street, and they're still using the marquee here to advertise the Lion King. Just down the street from Aladdin at the New Amsterdam is the Todd Haynes, where they're doing a variation on Pirates of Penzance that they're just titling Pirates with an exclamation mark. It's a little bit different from the show that I saw here last year, which was a restaging of Doubt by John Patrick Shanley here at the Tom Haynes. Just one more theater to go on Broadway. But we have to go one more block south. Here we go. here we are at our last theater on our walk to all 41 official Broadway theaters. It is the Nederlander. Now this is where Jonathan Larson's Rent made such a big splash. And one of the stars of that show is currently in a show called Redwood here. I ran into a couple of ladies who saw it last night, said that they enjoyed it, but here we are. Number 41, the Nederlander. Thanks for joining me for this. It's as much for my edification as anyone else's. I mean, this is stuff you could look up online, but I guess it's fun to see it quickly edited together in video and with my dumb face. My trip is just about over. I need lunch, and then I'm going to be calling a ride to the airport. But this was a fun way to finish it out. Thanks for joining me.